What's up, everyone? John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo here with an unboxing that I'm really excited about. This is the third generation iPad, officially dubbed the new iPad. All gussied up in white with 64 gigs of internal storage and compatibility with Verizon's 4G LTE network. Let's go ahead and take a look. Alright, so the new iPad is available in a ton of configurations, ranging from 16 gigs with no 4G or 3G service up to 64 gigs, and then you get those options with compatibility for Verizon or AT&T's LTE network. Prices ranging from $499 all the way up to $830. It's running, at least as shipping, iOS version 5.1. Let's go ahead and dig into this guy. The big deal here is, of course, a Retina display, bigger battery, the A5X processor, and capabilities for Verizon AT&T's 4G network. As I mentioned, this is Verizon 4G compatible. It's a version that I have. Of course, you can pick up the AT&T version or just Wi-Fi. So we'll go ahead and dig on into this guy. So picture the iPad on the box. Pretty simple. iCloud logo. It looks like a bigger iPhone box. Apple logo and iPad. Let's go ahead and break the seal, letting you know that it is indeed 64 gig 4G. Go ahead and pull it off. When it comes to phones, I think there's a lot of competitive operating systems out there. In fact, I'm using Android right now, and Windows Phone 7 is one of my favorite operating systems. But when it comes to tablets, at least for right now in the current marketplace, I think the iPad really is the tablet to beat. I use my iPad on a regular basis. I check mail on it in the morning. I check mail on it before I go to bed at night. It's really what I do all of my heavy tablet work on when I travel. You know, it goes with me. So the iPad for me is a recreation and business tool. Let's go ahead and open this guy up. We've got a little bit of padding, and there is the new iPad all done up in white, looking eerily similar to the iPad 2. Think of this as sort of the iPad 2S, if you will. Let's go ahead and pull the tab and lift it up. It definitely feels a little bit heavier. We'll run through all the specs, though, in just a moment. Push that off to the side, see what else we're going to have in the box. We've got, designed by Apple in California, SIM removal tool. That's kind of nice. iPad. We got 2 Apple stickers and some tips and tricks for getting started. Nothing overly exciting. SIM removal tool, of course, because it does use a micro SIM, either with Verizon or AT&T. Got the 30-pin cord, and then we got the little power brick here, which is always hard to get out. Come here. A little power brick, you can remove the prongs and get an adapter for whatever country you're in with USB. But that's not why you guys are here. This is why you are here. This is the new iPad. So go ahead and I will power it on while I remove its plastic. And if you guys want to sing a little song at home while it removes all its plastic for you, feel free to go ahead. Da-na-na-na. So I mentioned that my striptease song was actually the Scooby-Doo theme song. I think it actually might have been. Da-na-na-na. Alright, so there we go. It definitely does feel a little bit heavier and a little bit thicker. So while it's booting up, why don't we run through the specs of the new iPad and everything there is to know about it. So from a dimension standpoint, it's 9.5 inches by 7.31 inches by 0.37 inches. And there's that 0.37 inch heft. It weighs 1.44 pounds, and for those of you keeping track at home, that is 0.11 pounds heavier than the iPad 2. The big deal here, though, is the 9.7 inch display, which is a Retina display, so it's got double the resolution of the previous generation iPad. So that is 2048 by 1536 with 264 ppi. The iPad 2 at 132 ppi, in case you want to keep track. It's got a 42.5 watt-hour battery. So battery life remains the same from the previous version, though it has doubled in size. So you're going to get about 10 hours on Wi-Fi or 9 hours on 4G. It's an A5X processor. It's 1 gigahertz dual core, but quad core for graphics. RAM, we've got 512 gigs in here right now. Internal storage, you can pick different options. Camera is also one of the big additions here. We've got a 5 megapixel 1080p. They're calling it now an eyesight camera, so that's where that lives. And you've got the same VGA camera on the front that was found on the iPad 2. We did do a comparison on video, so you can see what videos and stills look like on the two devices to pick which one is best for you. And of course, you've got LTE compatibility, if that's the model you opt for. And it's Bluetooth 4.0, much like the iPhone 4S. So let me go ahead and set this guy up, and we'll come right back in just a minute and take a look at the screen. All right, so we are all set up here with the new iPad. I restored from a backup I did earlier today, and my apps are all downloaded in the background. So here's the screen. To you, it looks just like any other iPad screen, and to me, it looks like a better iPad screen. Certainly, it doesn't translate from seeing it on camera to whatever connection you have and whatever speed you're viewing it and quality. But the screen does look very, very, very nice. But let me do the best comparison that we can over the internet and bring in the iPad 2, which is right here on the right-hand side. So let me show you two identical things. Let's go ahead and first take a look at photos. So there's a picture of little Lucy. Both these brightnesses, I should say, are set at the same. So let me go ahead and just show that real quickly. Max brightness there, and max brightness all the way there as well. And we'll do a full comparison of the iPad 3 or new iPad versus iPad 2. But at least right here, you can definitely see the difference in brightness. So all those pixels are being put to work. Let's go ahead and take a look at some websites next. We'll go ahead and jump in right here and take a look at technobuffalo.com. And here you can certainly see the difference as well. If you go ahead and take a look at an article, so thinner MacBooks that to be in production. Go ahead and click that here. And we'll take a look at some text and sort of zoom our way in. So as we go all the way in as far as it'll let us go before it starts pulling out, you can see how crisp that text looks. We'll do the same thing here as well. And certainly there you can see a difference. Now I should say, I never thought the screen on the iPad 2 was bad at all. In fact, I thought the screen was pretty great. But certainly now looking at it next to the iPad 3 or a new iPad, there's a big difference here in the screens. Let's go ahead and look at a site that's been Retina display fully optimized. Let's go to Apple's website. We got apple.com here. Resolutionary, the new iPad. Let's go ahead and watch the new iPad video on both. So you can see what it looks like. As you can see the difference of video on both. Get this queued up. We'll hit play, and we'll hit play. And you can see what the video quality here is going to look like on each.
We believe technology is at its very best. We believe technology is at
So you can hear it in stereo.
when you're conscious
Come here,
only of what
go
you're
full
doing,
screen.
not the device you're doing, only of what you're doing, not the device
Pull
you're
the
doing.
volume down. You can see the video quality there as well. Certainly you see the same thing that we saw in text. It looks brighter, it looks a little bit more vibrant on the new iPad display. So we'll go ahead and exit out of this and exit back out of this. As you go back to the website, or any website in general, here you can start to see the differences as well, very subtly. So things like the time look much, much, much clearer. Little text and little icons definitely look much clearer. Let's go ahead and go back into settings. Something else that I wanted to show you. If you go to cellular data, if you get one that's so equipped, you can enable LTE on or off. If you're just downloading email in the background and you want to conserve your battery, LTE certainly takes a bit more battery use. You can go ahead and toggle that on and off. It's nice that that has been included here. Go ahead and close that and close that up. So this has been a first look at the new iPad. Of course, we have a ton of comparisons. We already have a camera comparison of these two guys. You can see the difference between the 1080p and the 720 and the 5 megapixel shooter and the about 1 megapixel shooter found in the iPad 2. And of course, we'll be doing a ton of comparisons, speed tests, and all the rest of the goodness that you'd expect. Be sure to check us out for all of your iPad and tech news at technobuffalo.com. I'm John Rettinger. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.